Can you hear me?
Yes, Shola, I can hear you. Shola, I can
Okay.
hear you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you too, son?
I'm great. Thank you. Can you put on your video?
Can you see me now?
What do you say? Oh, okay, great.
Good to see you again.
Shola, where you born? Yeah.
Yeah, so
Even though you,
I'm all
even
right.
though, even though you Japa, even though you Japa, you
No,
didn't tell us.
I did not japa. As a matter
When,
of fact, I did not japa. As a matter of fact,
when the,
that's why
when they going,
I'm
when
granting
they,
the interview. Can you hear me?
so that you can use that to bribe, so that you can use that to bribe me, Abby.
Nah, not to bribe you, but
Network. This is from my
it's
phone.
just some form of clarity and changing people's perspective about that word japa.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, guys, it's nice. I think we are live now. So sorry, we are a bit behind schedule. It's quite network here. Uh, I know quite a number of you guys outside Nigeria will not be facing the network challenge. But of course, I don't usually face network challenges because I do as much as possible to have lots of
Yep.
different types of network. And so if one fail, I can quickly switch up to another one. I think we are good to start. My name is Bankole Laleko, and of course, Speaker Bankole, and I have Shola Kenny. Of course, he will introduce himself. This is just a way to look at our perspective as a people.
Right.
Maybe you are a Nigerian or you are in any part of Africa. How are we thinking or reasoning around this whole thing?
Right.
From moving from a country to another country, uh, working in another country. How do you see your own country? How do you see the country that you are in? What is the process? How has the journey been? Uh, I'm quite passionate and excited to do this because of the wrong notion. And at the same time, funny enough, just early this year, we launched a platform which should be more live soon, called Japa Metrics
Okay.
.ng, so that it can be used to help quite a lot of people to gain that exposure that they are looking for, and
Mm.
at the same time, it can also help lot of people that want to also come back home or they want to invest in Nigeria. And at the same time, it can help us in our mindset. And so it makes a whole lot of sense doing this. So, Shola, so go ahead. Can you kindly introduce yourself and briefly tell me your growing up and how do you get here?
Yeah, thank you very much, Speaker Bankole. And hi to everyone. Good morning. If you are joining from maybe Australia or you are joining from Canada or US, I think it's about -7 now, so or -6. And good evening to Nigerians, Africans that are also watching this. It's a pleasure to be here. And I think this is the first time myself and Speaker Bankole we're having this kind of um, public chat. I know we meet up in events and we share ideas. Speaker Bankole is an intelligent man, fantastic ideas he brings up, and sometimes it becomes a good chaos, so to speak. It's one of those events that we've had chit chats. Well, quick one is my name is Victor Olushola Kehinde, and well, I'm a father of two children, and I do quite a lot of things. I've got about 15 years of experience in the IT industry. Uh, so in terms of, like I said, I do a lot of things, but I'll just give you some side to it. Um, I'm, I used to be the technology lead of Shola Kenny Solutions, and I think a lot of people, especially in Ondo State and some other states in Nigeria, know about the company Shola Kenny Solutions. But now I'm more of a non-executive director in Shola Kenny Solutions. I'm also the field associate to Widernet Projects. It's based in Massachusetts, now in Iowa in the US, and also a field associate representing the organization in Nigeria. I also represent World Computer Exchange, which is based in Massachusetts, the USA. I currently live in the UK, but I still do business as a non-executive in Nigeria and Rwanda because I have businesses in those places, but I act in more of a non-executive role now. The team manage all of those things. And so, like I said earlier, when we started this podcast, was I intentionally granted this interview with Speaker Bankole so that I could actually share a different perspective to this idea of Japa. So is Speaker Bankole still there? If I can still go on, I'm fine to still go on. Well, I currently I live in the UK, in England.
Yes, I can go on. I can hear you.
Okay, I live in England and I work as a consultant, more as a technical business analyst now. Also wear many hats in my transitioning. So I also wear hats as a scrum master or as a product owner. At the same time, I'm also an IT consultant to quite a couple of organizations in Africa. Speaker of Bangladesh that said I Japa, you don't actually know I do a lot of back and forth to Nigeria and England because of 6 hours flight. It's just I don't make noise online. A lot of people don't know my trips. 6 hours, I'm in Lagos, spend like 5 days back in England. So that's why I said it's another perspective for people to understand that when you're talking about Japa, as a matter of fact, I don't know whether we have got to that stage of, I mean, this podcast, but like I said, I think this live program will help a lot of people to have a different mindset to actually, when you're talking about relocating from Nigeria or from Africa, it should give you a better mindset to talking about living, emigrating. If you have this mindset of you want to Japa, then it means that you are actually leaving everything you are doing back in Nigeria and never looking back again. And that's it. Bye bye. So, but I think every one of us should start looking at it from the fact that I just emigrated, emigrating from one country to the other. Because I used to say this a lot that every one of us, we are global citizens. I can't hear you, Speaker Bankole, if you are speaking, but I can still continue. Okay, I think I can hear you now.
Yes, I said, what did you say last?
Yeah,
You
so I
said you
was talking
think every
about
one
that
of us is what? That last
every
statement
one
you
of
said.
we are we are global citizens. We are global citizens. So if we think as a global citizen, you won't think of the fact that oh, I want to jump out to this country and I'm not going back to Nigeria or I'm not going back to Africa. So if you think as a global citizen, you don't restrict yourself to a country. You can live in England for a year or two and also go to the US to do other things there. You can also decide to move to Germany. Lately, because I've been doing a lot of things on the international stage, I discovered there's people that they call nomad expats. Nomad expats, they are people that can decide to live in any country, like Spain. Spain, I think Spain give you a nomad visa for 1 year. You can live and work in Spain for 1 year with the nomad visa. And Portugal too. Portugal also gives visa. I think that one can even extend it to 2 years. So, but my point is, when we're talking about that word Japa, I think a lot of us needs to have a different perspective to Japa. Your Japa, in my own understanding, is you are actually living, you are living or selling everything you have back in Nigeria. I think we should focus more on the podcast more on the on Nigeria as a whole, because I think a lot of Nigerians are actually watching this. So if you say you're Japa, that means you want to sell all the things, all your assets. Maybe you've got business in Nigeria and all that. You are selling everything off and then living completely without looking back. But we should all think differently and have a different mindset to that in the fact that why are you selling all the things you've got back home? Because we are ambassadors of Nigeria. Although I've heard quite a couple of people now that they travel abroad and they are seeking asylum. So that is another conversation for another day. But for straightforward thinking Nigeria. I'm not saying that the some of the people that are seeking asylum and all that they are not straightforward thinking. I'm just saying in form of the mindset of we average Nigerians that you are emigrating from Nigeria. Don't see that as the fact that you are new Japa. See that the fact that it's just a limited time for you to be in another country, understanding another different culture, getting yourself exposed to some developed technology and all that, and then you can replicate it. And I think there was a conversation maybe you had Speaker Bankole with one of the speakers, maybe I think it was the first or second speaker that also talked about Japada. He said he was going to Japada maybe next 10 to 15 years. That's the mindset every one of us should have. Speaker Bankole, are you still there? I hope it's not network issue or something.
Yeah, Shola, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, the challenge I'm having is that I'm trying to pick your point from uh, is it are you putting yourself on live on another device? Because
Nope.
I'm hearing a very cracking voice of yours on my device here, but on live it's very clear. So I'm trying to listen to you from the live angle because I couldn't pick your point
I'm using
from
just
my
one
device
device,
here.
and that's my phone. I don't have any other device I'm connected to.
Oh, okay. So, so I listened to you carefully. So, pause before you start even explaining on this issue of Japa or whatever. Of course, I
Yep.
disagreed with you on
Okay.
this area of the part where you said that Japa is all about maybe probably you are selling your properties and you are ready to leave the country maybe totally. Is that your definition of Japa, or is it all about
That's
probably
another
I can
definition of
decide
it.
to go and oh,
Exactly.
okay, good. I like that. That is another divination of it. So, so some school of thought can be that okay, I'm living forever. But my own school of thought of Japa is that and which we want to redefine, and that is where
Yeah.
where the team comes from.
Right.
How to strategically reposition yourself. That the
Mhm.
word called reposition. So even
Right.
if I've traveled out of the country maybe for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, or
Correct.
maybe I went to go and study whatsoever. What is the perspective? So, what should be as a Nigerian and as an African, what should be your thinking about traveling, based on your own opinion, based on your own thinking or your mindset? So, what is your opinion about living in Nigeria? For an instance, traveling outside, is it again, or you are not going to have any investment in Nigeria? So you can go ahead.
Well, if you're talking about me, if I want to sound selfish in terms of personally what my opinion is about emigrating, well, as you know, I've got assets, businesses, and all that back home. And like I mentioned earlier, I still do a lot of back and forth back home if I need to be in very important meetings, 6 hours flight. I'm in Lagos, Abuja. So that's my mindset of emigrating. But the major reason why I relocated was because of family. I mean, I think it's been this conversation has been like 7 years or 8 years before we finally before my family finally relocated. My wife had always wanted to do a master's in one of the international countries. She's always recommended maybe Canada or the US. But my opinion was no, I can't live in that far country because of a lot of things I do in Africa, considering the time zone. I can't be waking up 1 a.m. and trying to attend to things in Africa. So that was why 2 years ago we decided, oh, and then looking at the reality of things in the country in terms of insecurity, the economic instability in the country, and all of that. That was when I decided, okay, fine, you want to go and do your masters. All right, I think this is an opportunity. UK is like is our 37th state. That's what a lot of people say now. Is so it was an option for us, and then I said, okay, that's fine. Let's consider the UK, and then we'll move to England. So, but my opinion about it, when we initially moved, was they were going to stay here, and I was going to stay more in Nigeria, and then always go back and forth. But a reality set in, and the truth is that a lot of us have actually been traveling. I know Speaker Bankole, you are also very well exposed in terms of traveling to all these international countries. I realized that there was so much difference. In fact, the gap is very wide in the fact that um, um, traveling to these countries on vacation and actually living in these countries, it's a whole lot of the gap is wide. And so my thought, having traveled to a couple of these international countries, well, oh, you guys, you want to do your masters, come and do your masters. I will stay back home and then support you financially and all that. But man, the reality dawned coming here. Our son was still less than 4 years. So 4 years, you as a 4-year-old child or less than 4 year old, you only have access to 15 hours of school. So in a week. So, which means more of the rest of the week, the child has to stay at home. And my wife was schooling, so it was a whole lot of it was a really huge struggle then having to stay back in Nigeria, and then my wife needs to study, manage the kids and all that. So I decided, man, I need to stay. And you know what? I think the first accommodation we got, we're paying more than £1,200 per month on on the rent. So when I'm not involved in some shady stuff back home, or because I'm a businessman, I've always been a businessman for over a decade, and I couldn't imagine that I'll be converting naira and just to pay rent of £1,200, and then you consider the other bills. So that reality dawned, and I felt, man, I need to actually live with these people here and get a source where I can earn in FX so that I can pay the FX bill. It won't make sense that you are using Naira to pay FX bills. So that was why I decided to stay. But like I said, I still travel back and forth. So I think that was the whole journey. And then having lived here for a couple of 2 years now, that was when I mean a lot of people, a lot of Nigerians are actually facing the reality of residency, how they can live in the country. Because after your studentship, you need to change your student visa to when they work a work visa or a tier two, which is called that healthcare visa. But having done quite a lot of things in the IT industry, I just applied for the global talent visa. And within 2 weeks, I was granted, I was given the visa. So in terms of residency, I was actually given the exceptional talent, which is for 3 years, and then you can apply for your indefinite leave to apply, I mean, to remain and all that. So that's why I was saying that, well, my perspective to Japa is there's a reason, and the reason was wife wanted to do schooling, but for me, I was still more interested in my business. As a matter of fact, I'm still the convener of Tech Expo Africa, which is a tech community in Africa where we have a yearly conference bringing different professionals, communities together where we all come together and share ideas, look at innovative tools, and invite experienced speakers have got loads of experience in their walks of life or their career path or industries, and then they come share with others to impact lives. So I still do that, which is part of what I do heavily. Well, that's my story in terms of relocation. But for me, I'm still very much tied to Africa, if that makes sense.
Hello,
Yeah,
Shola.
I can still hear you.
Hello, can you
Yeah,
hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, pause a bit. Pa- Yeah, pause a bit. Just pause a bit. You rejoin the link so that I can get a better clarity
Okay.
from here. So just pause a bit. We'll continue in a second.
Yep. Are you sending me another link?
Shola, can you hear me?
Are you going to send me another link?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you
Okay.
loud
So
and
so
clear.
just go ahead. Yeah. So fine. Great. Yeah. Great. So just go
Okay.
ahead from pick it up from where you stopped.
Yeah. I just shared my journey of relocation. So it was more of a family relocation that focused on myself. But part of what actually made that decision a lot easier was looking at the insecurity, instability of the country. That was a major reason for the relocation. However, from a business perspective and looking at the economic realities in the country in terms of growth, I mean, it's in Nigeria or Africa that you can make 1 billion in 1 month, and you know how to, it's not from an illegal perspective, but in terms of dealing with numbers. Nigeria has over 230 million in terms of population. So imagine you can get 1% of that market share. That's massive. So that's the reality for me, anyways. From a business perspective, I was always done business, and that's still more of the focus area. Are you still there, Speaker Bankole? Speaker Bankole, can you hear me?
Yeah, Shola, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I
Hello?
can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, great. So, okay, great. Yeah, so great. Okay, so now tell me, is it, are you running businesses in UK now, or what are you doing in London? You've been, like you said, you've been in businesses in Nigeria for decades.
Yep,
So
that's correct.
what is that thing? And of course, based on what you have said, I understand fully why you have to relocate to UK, which is great, uh, very great. Now, so what are you doing over there? And second part of that question is that how do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Well, currently I have a 9 to 5, so I consult for a couple of, I mean, there's a major 9 to 5 organization that I work for as a technical business analyst. And so, but I still have some other freelancing roles that I work. So I do some other consultations as an IT consultant. I also do freelancing with an organization in the UK to train business analysts. We train project managers. We train product owners and scrum masters. Because one of the things that, I mean, when I came in, and I'm so happy that which you are also in the reality of these things, the crop of Nigerians are actually relocating to the UK or Canada or all these other countries now. They are top leaders, C-suite leaders back in Nigeria, and that leadership mindset is already there. So a lot of them that are actually emigrating now, they are actually shifting position in terms of shifting their career to see how they can be valuable to the reality of the country where they work, where they live at the moment. So, and there are loads of opportunities out there for scrum masters, for product owners, project managers. A lot of these roles are out there that people are actually not qualified for it because of obviously where a lot of people maybe they were doing businesses in Nigeria. Some have not even worked in corporate environment before. Some of that worked, especially bankers. I think having consulted, based on my consultation lately, a lot of bankers actually emigrated from Nigeria, and a lot of them are also they've seen that gap in terms of career, and a lot of them are already training and transitioning into that field. And the truth is that, like I mentioned, I've been doing business for over a decade and actually acted in capacity of a business analyst, acted as a capacity of scrum master based on different arts or projects I've done. So my transitioning into business analysis world and working for an organization as a technical business analyst, it was pretty very straightforward. Let me share this with you. I honestly don't like to share figures when I'm in public space, because we have different amazing people or amazing Nigerians. When you share figures or you share some of these things, from my perspective, I just see it as a way to encourage people to believe that yes, you if this person can do it, then I can do it. Don't settle for less. Because the truth is that a lot of people that are coming in, I'm not saying that what I'm about to say is not, I don't want it to sound derogatory to anybody, but I just want it to, from a perspective of the fact that, yes, I think I can do better than the normal narrative out there. And the truth is that a lot of people that came into the UK in the last 3 years or 2 years, when they come in and they meet people, people will just suggest go and do care work, go and do this, go and do odd jobs. But remember when I came in, and like I mentioned, the reality dawned that I needed to start working here. I could tell you that a lot of people were recommending care work. I said, that's not possible. I know where I'm coming from. And so what I did for the first 1 month was I was just shooting CV out for IT role. And you know what? The first job I got was £30,000 per annum. It looked very big to people out there, but that's chicken change, because I've met quite a couple of Nigerians here. If I met an investment banker um, last year, December period, went just had a few chit chat with him. He's a Nigerian, and you know what? He earns, I think, a cumulative of about, if I'm not exaggerating, maybe £1 million per annum. It was even the one telling me when I shared some of my net income. It was like, no, I can do better than that. I should start earning £60,000 per month, not per annum, per month. I have friends that are business analysts that they are earning £600 per day. Some are even as consultants are earning £1,000 per day, and they are not settling for less. So what I do at the moment, my 9 to 5, I earn well, I'm doing fine. But the truth is that personally is beyond that. The truth is that over a couple of years, a lot of these narratives that is even coming out there in terms of people that are actually emigrating to these countries, a lot of people are actually emigrating fine because of family, and then the paramount of it all is actually get a British passport or a Canadian passport, American passport, and all that. When you get these passports, what next? That's always a question people start asking themselves. So, what next when you get all of these things? So that's why my opinion in terms of what I do at the moment, yes, I have a 9 to 5, but I'm still very much active with what I do in Nigeria, what I do in Africa in terms of Tech Expo Africa, and some other freelancing role and consulting that I do to encourage people. So that's my what I do at the moment. Uh, but in the next 5 years, where I see myself in the next 5 years, I read this book recently. I don't know if you've read it, Vantage. That's by Olumide Soyombo, and it's a fantastic book where he was talking about how he partnered with his friend. I think it was Kazim, and they've done amazing things in terms of investing into startups, investing into big businesses. I mean, not big businesses, startups, young entrepreneurs, and some of them have sold out, like Paystack that sold out to Stripe and all that. They were also involved in that. So in the next 5 years, where I see myself, I've actually been interacting with a couple of, like the investment banker I spoke about a couple of minutes ago. People like that, I'm already building a community here where I can easily connect with them, and we start doing a lot more big stuff. I don't want to be a sole owner of a business anymore. And then in the next 5 years, what I'm so much after is partnerships, partnerships. start playing more on the international stage. Yes, a lot of people might know me back in Ondo State there, and for me, I now see myself more playing on the international stage. I want to be able to pick my bag and decide to go for a meeting in Canada, spend a night, and maybe go to Germany. That's the mindset I see myself in the next 5 years in terms of relating with top business owners, relating with top career professionals, C-suite executives in whatever the things they do. It's actually a gradual process. And I can remember in Ondo State way back, I used to ask myself sometimes, how come I was a bit popular in the IT space in Ondo State? It was because of there's a process. I remember at Speaker Bankole, we met in events. If I don't meet you in events, if I don't meet other people and we introduce ourselves, get to know ourselves, there's no way we could have not known each other. There's no way we would have known that, oh, this is what. So if you mention Shola Kenny, people that know me know that, oh, Shola Kenny is IT person. So that's also the process I'm currently going through in England. And actually, I've been extending my tech apples to other international countries, anyways. But it's a growth. Everything in life is growth, everything in life is process. So in the next 5 years, I see myself more like what I do in Nigeria. I'm actively doing it here. And it's really a mindset. A lot of people that are coming in, or people that have been living here 10 years, 5 years, or more, we don't need to settle for less. Whatever we're doing back in Nigeria, we can still replicate it here. Back in Nigeria, I think I was telling a friend recently that I had connect to military, police, custom, banking, bankers. You have connect to everywhere. But here, which is in my next 5 years, I want to also have connections to all these people. There are a lot of Nigerians that they are very intelligent, they have what it takes to get a job, but they don't have the right connection to recruiters. In this part of the world, you need to have very good interpersonal relationship with recruiters, especially for organizations. If you want to work as a 9 to 5er, or you also want to do business. If you want to do business, you need to have connection with accountants here. You need to have connection to different professionals. It's not like Nigeria that you can have one person that can do 5 or 7 things. Here, you can't do that. If you're not careful, you find yourself involved in dealing with the government in terms of doing. It just looks like you are doing illegal stuff. Imagine taxes in Nigeria now. Yes, I have an auditor that does all my taxes in Nigeria, but here you need to deal with accountants, you need to deal with different professionals, lawyers to get things done here. So that's where I see myself in the next 5 years. People coming, if friends that need assistance back from Africa, I can connect them to top shots here and get stuff done for them. So as I've always been a go-to person in Nigeria, for a lot of people that know me back in Nigeria, if anybody wants to do anything in Ondo State regarding to IT or stuff around in Ondo State, they usually connect with me because they know I've got connections to people. I can reach out to people, ask them for assistance to support whoever wants to come into the state. That's where I see myself in the next 5 years in this country or any of other international countries that I decide to still relocate to. But definitely, it's not going to be too far to Africa. I hope that helps. I used to think I'm a man of little words, but lately I used to have I say a lot of things. Maybe just to encourage people, anyways. If it's just one person that this live session can encourage, I think I'm happy about it.
Shola, let me pause you there. Someone was
Okay.
asking me, I think, is it today, is it yesterday that we posted this, your designer? And he said, what about the tech program that Shola was doing, that yearly tech program? Is it so what is your plan going forward for upcoming tech young people in Nigeria? Now you have a lot of experience around that for people in Nigeria. So what do you have in plan for them?
Okay. Well, Tech Expo Africa is still very much active. In 2022, when I relocated, we had the conference in November. As a matter of fact, a lot of people were saying, no, Shokeni cannot come to Nigeria. It's not possible. When did he travel? So some of them were still looking at that fact that when you Japa in the next 5 years, you can't even come back to Nigeria. And I was in Nigeria for that conference. That was in October 2022. I was in Nigeria for that conference, spent a couple of days or weeks in Nigeria. We also had the conference last year, but that one was virtual, it was online. We had the conference online last year. And part of what we are also working on right now, which is a work in progress, is we want to start having a monthly event, inviting professionals in their different walks of life, industries. We look at a topic, we invite a speaker, the speaker will talk about it. So that's our plan. And this is going to start next month, God willing. Well, we are going to be having a monthly event, inviting top speakers. They will come and share their perspective to the topic, and hopefully, a lot of African communities can benefit from it. So that's Tech Expo Africa is still very much active. I'm still the president of Tech Expo Africa. The team members are still very much active. The design team, the social media team, we are very much in sync. So nothing is happening to Tech Expo Africa. Tech Expo Africa is still very much active. I hope that answers the person's question. Can you still hear me? Come on, Colin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you. Great. I'm with you. I'm trying to pick your voice from the live video, so and it's not synchronizing, so I have to listen to you first to pick what you have said, so that I know what you are going to do. So it's very exciting, Shola. So it shows that for the father, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Hello,
hear you.
Shola. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great.
I
I
can hear
saw
you.
you standing up, and so it shows that for the fact that you have traveled outside Nigeria, your body can be outside, your soul and spirit is still very much in Nigeria, and so that is quite very exciting. I'm quite excited about the program and the event. You said you want to start from next month. Even here, this is very fantastic, and these are ways that uh, every person, as far as just like the woman I interviewed yesterday said, think Africa, think Nigeria,
Yeah,
whatsoever. So that is key, irrespective of wherever we are, bringing
right.
our investments, our resources,
Yeah.
our productivity, our skill sets back home. Maybe we are here or not. I know someone like a Professor Indugweze has been in US for years. Most of the time, they run a lot of programs around the Techidia
Mm,
Institute or Techidia Capital in Nigeria, and these
right.
founders are not in Nigeria. It just
Mm,
shows how technology, globalization has made so
right.
many things so easy to connect with ourselves. Look at, for example, we are far apart and we're having this type of conversation. A lot of people
Right.
can pick from it, thousands of people will learn from it, and that is the beauty of what we are talking about. Now, let me
Right.
ask you two more questions. The second to the last is what inspires you? What makes you? You are over there and you still believe so much in Nigeria, doing quite a number of things there, businesses there. So, what is your motivation? What is inspiring you? Why can't you just say, "Oh, I don't have any business here again"?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Van. That's a very good question. And to be honest with you, I think is every day I still ask myself that question. What's my point in trying to still keep up with things in Nigeria or things in Africa? And I've come to realize it keeps me going anyways. That's my passion. That's what I love to do. I'm not doing a lot of these things because of money. I'm looking at it from an impact point of view. How can I impact? If it's just one person I can impact in these programs or sharing sometimes I do short videos. I just look at it that what way can I impact lives? We as humans, we should start thinking beyond the fact that I want to make money. Money should be the least of our worries. But how can you make money? One is another conversation, anyways. But if you don't make yourself valuable, that when you come on a table, the question you should ask yourself is, what value am I bringing to this table? If you can answer that question, that yes, this is the value I'm bringing this to this table, then money should be the base of your problem. So for me, money is not my problem. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not that, but I know definitely I will be a billionaire. I know I watched Chude interview some time ago. He said that our Nigerian billionaires are very lazy, and I kept thinking about it and felt, that's a big thing. If you look at a lot of our billionaires, maybe they don't do it, they don't show it outside, but even if they are showing outside, then we'll see the impact. Look at people like Bill Gates, look at all of these top shots, Elon Musk, and all of them. They are doing things that are actually moving the global stage. They have solutions out there, they are giving back. Femi Otodola recently, anyways, gave back to a school. I think he donated 1 billion naira to a foundation. So that's where I see myself. That's what keeps me going, in the sense that I want to inspire lives. I want to, where I am in terms of a mindset, I think every one of us can get to that level in terms of mindset. Look at money as the base of it, or money should not be the problem, but how can you impact out of the over 145 billion population in Africa? If I can touch 500 million in Africa, you have done a lot. It's much more than money. So to be honest, that's what keeps me going. Like, how can I impact lives? How myself and a team of other people that we're all working together, what are the ways we can impact lives? And let me say this before I end that question is, I remember when I applied for the global talent visa, one thing that I learned from that process was a lot of things that we are doing that we think we are not, is not adding value to lives. If you come to the you're at the on the international stage, you will be highly valuable because you are impacting lives. So, like what we are doing right now, I'm sure one or two persons we impacted based on the information, based on this conversation. And it might not matter to us in Africa or in Nigeria, but if you take these things to the international stage, it's a very big thing. How many people have the confidence to come up on a live event like this and talk about their lives, talk about things that they are doing? So that's what keeps me going, is ways to impact lives. The funds that I have, I can send it back as black tax to help people in terms of actually adding value to people, not to pay for their to buy bag of rice. It's about how can they add value to themselves, that they can also be valuable at the international stage. That's the way I see it. Organize events, bring people that are well exposed that can share information, because information is actually wealth. It's wealth. If you have information, forget it. I've been involved in projects like, people know that, oh, you want to get this done, speak to Shola Kenny, and the people will reach out to me, speak to the guys that I know can do it. And you know what? Just doing the link up, get document from this person, give it to the person. There are sometimes I make 1 million naira. Just being an interconnection, 5 million. That's the level we all need to get to, in terms of the more you are adding value to people's life, you are impacting lives. Money will always follow it. So money should be the least of worries. But how can we keep impacting lives? Or let me also say this in passing, that one of the things that could actually discourage people sometimes is when you come outside this way and you are actually sharing things, some people will be looking at it as a way to maybe tax you in terms of black taxes. And that, I think, to an extent, affect people to actually come out and say that they want to impact life, they want to share things that they are doing. And I think it's a conversation that we also need to, it needs to be discussed intensely, because there are many people out there that are doing amazing work. Diasporans that are doing great work, but if they come outside and start sharing how they make this money or how they're impacting lives, someone else will just be looking at him like, this guy is a billionaire. Let me plan how I'm going to tax him. But it should be more than that. So I'm also saying there's a lot of diasporans that are doing well financially and all that.
That makes
give back to the community in terms of information and connections. I hope it's going to greatly help. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, Chola. Of course, I don't have doubts in you, though I was a bit afraid when you mentioned the 500 million people imparting 500. Of course, the population of Africa alone is over 1.4 billion people. So,
Yeah.
uh, uh, and if quite a lot of people can collaborate,
Exactly. That
reaching over
collaboration. So
500
if you
million
can reach
people
one person, you
very,
can
very
that one
important.
person
And
can
that's one of the things
exactly.
I agree with you. Hmm.
Yeah. So
That's
if you
one of
meet
those
one
things you
person,
agree
they
with me
can
is very
trickle to the
lacking in
others.
this continent. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I was just saying that, yeah, that 500 million is about when you connect with one person. My understanding is that when you connect with one person, the person has another about 40 people connection. So if we can replicate it that way, the more we are sharing and impacting one person life, the person also impacts the other community. And now I play at community level anyway. So imagine a community where in a community you have about 50 people or 200 people. Oh, definitely. By the time it replicates, is that 500 million is very much achievable. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you are very, very much right. And I think, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear
Yeah,
you. Go
great.
ahead.
So, and that is what the digital economy is transforming now. And personally, I'm being inspired, irrespective of the approach or the attitude of our government, maybe across vertical or horizontal. Maybe talk about federal government, state government, or local
Right.
government.
Yeah.
I'm very inspired that technology is going to revolutionize a lot of things in this continent. It's not
Right.
going to be about what a president or a governor or a local government chairman can do. It's going to be
Right.
what about somebody like you and I, people like Tony Lumelu, Dangote, and the likes of it. Today, Dangote is distributing a lot of 10 kilogram of rice across Nigeria. This is
Mm.
just a a business, and so it's so fascinating. Quite a lot of us, I could remember last year, uh, we did something in Extra Mile Africa. We did something around palliative, even during COVID. I could remember
Mm.
so many things that we did. So it's going to be more of our thinking. It's going to be more of our way of life, and it's going to be
Right.
more of coming to understand that with simplicity, with some level of consciousness and being intentional, we can do much more. And it's going to be about the people. It's going to be about the younger generation. It's going to be about the value, and that is what
Right.
is more important. Last question for you, Shola. Great, you have spoken. You have been able to even go beyond my thoughts. Some information that you have been able to give. One of the beautiful things that I have realized. Uh, when I was in US, for an instance, I discovered that the way we are so secretive in Nigeria and in some part of Africa, when you see people in UK, in US,
Yeah.
in Dubai, people are ready to share stuff with you. I don't know, maybe because of personality. I don't know, maybe because of the type of personality we are trying to build, and the people are very much comfortable with us to discuss with us and whatsoever. But I also want to also think that this type of people, by the time we are leveraging our education, our exposure, our wealth of experience, our knowledge,
Right.
and the type of resources that we have, a lot of people will want to resonate with us. And the more people resonate with us, the more Africans and a lot of young
Yeah.
people start changing their orientation.
Right.
That mention you share, I really appreciate that. So the last question is, can you tell me the 5 top skills that you are going to recommend for people in Africa that today they need to learn if they want to be successful in life? 5 top skills from your side.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Great question. Five top tips if you want to be successful in Africa is the fact that you need, number one is you need to bridge your gap of knowledge of experience. So if whatever career that you've got that you're working on, maybe whatever industry or you're a professional in whatever thing you are doing, you need to find a way to look at your gap in terms of, am I globally valuable? Think beyond that Africa, think beyond Nigeria, and look at it at what I'm doing right now. If I find myself in Canada, can I be recognized that yes, you are a professional in this thing that you're doing? If your answer is no, then my first tip is find a way to improve yourself. Keep improving yourself on what that thing you are doing. Don't settle at the mediocre level. Don't settle for less. Be good in whatever you are doing. My second tip is try to document whatever you are doing. The truth is that whatever you are doing, don't be thinking local. You want to be a global citizen with a local mandate. So be a global citizen with a local mandate. As a global citizen, you are not restricted to that your African country. You should be able to travel to any country and share tips that people are ready to listen to you. As Mr. Bankole has just mentioned, that when he was in the US or in the UK or Dubai, people are willing to hear you speak because of they would definitely see that level of exposure based on the things that you're talking about. So that's my second one. Try as much as possible to document all of those things that you're doing because there might be a need for you to actually put in an application which could be a global recognition award or something, and they ask you, what have you done? This guy used to say, what's his name again? Like he said, you explain, no evidence. You don't want your story to be like that. You don't want to keep explaining without evidence. So try as much as possible to document all the things that you are doing. Documentation, I'm not saying that get a book and pen and start writing down stuff. Maybe you are doing a project, snap the project. You are doing design work, create a portfolio. Maybe you're on your Google Drive, have a portfolio of all those projects you are doing. Maybe you are an infrastructure person. Take photos of all those infrastructure that you are doing. Maybe you are a public PR person or HR person, organizations that you are helping and all of that. What way are you documenting all of these things that you are doing? My third tip is try and join communities, network with people, go for conferences, go for events. Don't just be doing whatever you are doing and you are doing it in silo. Whatever you are doing, try and connect with others that in that your field of career. I think it greatly helps a lot because when you join network of people or you join community, things that you think, you are the best, you are the chairman, you will just discover that what people are saying, you just discover you don't even know anything. And that sometimes will stir you to say, man, I think I need to improve greatly on whatever I'm doing. So it helps you to connect more. And then my fourth tip is, I think this will go to business owners, whatever business you are doing. I want you to think from it from the fact that which one would you prefer to be the CEO of a 5 million naira company or to be a board of director of a 5 billion naira company. I'll say that again. You're a business owner. Think about it from this perspective. Do you want to continually be a CEO of a 5 billion naira company? Or you want to be a board of director, which means are you open to partnership with others in whatever you are doing? You cannot do everything yourself. You need to work with others, partner with others that are bringing different value on board. So if you are a board of director of a 5 billion naira company, that's massive. And then the last tip for people that are doing jobs, your 9 to 5, you are doing a 9 to 5 job or whatever it is that you are doing. Try as much as possible to learn and connect with professionals in your field of career. That's also very, very important. What value are you giving to that organization that you're working in? Whichever organization, whichever company you're currently working in, how are you adding value to that organization? Start thinking for for many years, a lot of people that work with me in Shokeni Solutions, they know this. I tell them, don't depend on your salary. So as a 9 to 5, what other stream of income do you have as a 9 to 5er? Do you have other stream of income? And let me say this, some people usually mix this up when we are talking about stream of income. There's actually a difference between stream of income and hard work. I'll give you a typical example of what people think is a stream of income. Let you have your 9 to 5, you earn salary, and then you have a car. After your 5 o'clock job, you decide to do Uber from 5 to maybe 7:30 or 8 p.m. You are making money from it. Yes. And then maybe a weekend, maybe you play music in you have skill in playing a musical instrument. You are training some people on musical instrument and you are making money from it. My brother, my sister, that is not stream of income because you are involved in the process of making that money. You are heavily involved in the process of making that money. That is not a stream of income. The stream of income I'm talking about is let your money work for you. Yes, the reality of things that people will say, Shola Kenny, what is this saying? With this 30,000 naira minimum wage, or people are earning 20,000, how do you think they can survive? I will shock you today. There is my dad, about 15 years ago, we had some staff that were earning, I think, 15,000 naira or 24,000 naira. They built houses. How do you think they built the houses? They were involved in thrift, a job contribution. So it's so amazing. Nigeria is so amazing, or Africa, let me say Nigeria is so amazing that up to now, with the economic reality or the economic instability, if you go to clubs, you will see the way people are still spending money. And these people are actually doing, some of them are doing 9 to 5 jobs. Let's leave aside the politicians and all of them. People that actually have 9 to 5 jobs that they are doing, you will see them in clubs, they are spending money. So if you are in that category, look at what other way can I put money in things that will be a stream of income for me. There are lots of platforms out there that you can put your money and the money will work for you. So start looking at, is it to partner with people that I can, in my little funds that I'm making out of my salary, can I save maybe 15% or 20% out of my salary? And I know that I'm okay in the next 1 year. This fund, I want to put it into a stream of income that can generate money for me. There are lots of tips on YouTube, online, that you can get tips on how you can make money. Me personally, I have lots of stream of income. Cryptocurrency is there. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm not a day trader on cryptocurrency. When there is bear market, that is when I go to cryptocurrency, buy out, buy a lot of good coins, do research and buy coins. And then during this bull market, I'm just selling them at the top. Sorry. So during this bull market, I'm just selling them at the top, and then wait till maybe 1 year or 2 years when the thing dips again, you buy. That's another stream of income. So, and in every, maybe this should be in my last tip, in every of these stream of income that you have, is also great if you can join communities. This cryptocurrency, I have communities of guys that they share quality coins with you, quality projects that you can buy, you invest your money, and it's massive. People are making $5,000, $10,000 on one coin. It's an investment. You are sleeping while your money is working for you. So you have to think through that in the next 60 years or 70 years, do I want to keep working for money? I should start thinking of the fact that where can I put my money that when I'm sleeping at my old age, that asset is generating funds for me to survive. So thank you very much. I hope that helps, sir. I can't hear you. Can you unmute? Oh, hold on. I hope you know my Bluetooth.
Oh, sorry, I'm muted.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I
can you
can
hear
hear
me
you.
now? I'm
Okay.
muted.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much. You've been able to do a lot of justice to some of the questions I wanted to ask. You've elaborated so much, and it's also very nice speaking with a young man like you. Uh, your mind is so much liberated, and of course, I've known you for quite a lot of years, and I still see that you are still full of life, you are still full of energy, and you are doing quite a lot. And
Thank you very much.
we are very proud of you. I'm very, very proud of you for what you are doing. And we are going to be engaging ourselves in quite a lot of, the social media space is full of too much garbages. today. And you know, politics, I stumble on my social media, Facebook, Twitter. 90% of what I say is politics, comedy, skits. Fantastic. Those things are very fantastic. But we cannot use, even these days, again, you will hear a lot of criticism around religious activities. We are too
Yeah.
much overloaded with information that this information are not even
Right.
beneficial to our life. They are not
Yeah.
the type of information that we need to spend all our life 24/7 consuming. You know, if I
Right.
want to watch a comedy or a skit, probably I spend like 30 minutes in a whole day. And of course, that is good. That is okay.
Yeah.
You got to
To
be,
calm
one
them.
have to be more productive, very pragmatic. And that is one of those things that inspired me to say, I'm going to start this, take it, even a lot of you guys, maybe we can start to revitalizing the system in a way that maybe when the other thought leaders or even
Mm.
our government start seeing all these stuff like this, we will start reorganizing ourselves. We start thinking
Right.
outside the box, and we start looking at what can we do differently. uh,
Right.
how can we change this narrative from just having a lot of unnecessary uh, uh, information that are not helping us or imparting us. Look at what somebody like you is doing. I wish 2,000 people, a country of over 215 million, a continent of over 1.4 billion, and with less than uh, maybe probably 65% of the people in the continent, they are less than 30 years of age. I wish we can have more people very energetic, very pragmatic, very progressive. But we are going to get there. I'm very, very optimistic with people like you. One of the reasons, if you know me before, gone are those days I would tell people not to travel out of the country. But these days, I encourage a lot of people because
Yeah.
exposure is key. Exposure is one of the best and biggest
Right.
education that we can have. And quite a lot of you have been able to prove it. You've been able to show it. So it's not, wherever you are, it's no longer a barrier. What is more important
Exactly.
is the impact. And that is
Correct.
what I want everybody to take away from this conversation this evening. The impact is not the number of amount of money that you have. It's not the
Exactly.
metrics. What matter is that as we are making those
Exactly.
money, as we are gathering those resources, how much people are you imparting their life?
Right. Yeah.
Your experiences. How much people are you, or how many people are you sharing those experiences with? One of the things that I've seen with African billionaires, many of them, few of them are changing now, is that they don't write books, they don't document their knowledge. If we don't document our knowledge, people that are doing things practically, we will leave these conversations to maybe motivational speakers alone. Motivations and
Speaker
inspirations are
Bankole,
very good,
sorry, can I
but we
can I
also
come in?
need
Can I come
ourselves,
in
people
that
like
one?
us.
Yeah. Can
Yeah,
I come
quickly.
in
Yeah,
that one that you're
quickly say
talking
something
about?
around 30 seconds. That's,
Yeah, that
uh,
billionaires actually, some of our Nigerian billionaires don't write books. I read a book by one of my mentors in my I worked with him before, Oswald Gobadia, about entrepreneurship. And he said that a lot of these people actually have what we call 300 missing pages of their life journey, of their career journey. 300 missing pages. So if they write a biography, they actually have 300 missing pages. And that 300 missing pages is what they actually did to make money. Some of them are involved in money laundering. Some of them are involved in some very heavy things that they cannot say in those books. And it's still a major problem. But a lot of us, young chaps like these, are actually coming up that we don't have missing pages in our life journey. I think over time we'll be able to start writing our own books and see how we can also replicate to impact African lives. Yeah, thank you. I'll yield over to you, sir.
that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And I hope a lot of people will stumble on this type of video and this type of conversation. I know it's going to get to thousands of people, at least 1,000, and be able to pick one or two things.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I'm always afraid about time, I can engage you for 1.5 hours, 2 hours. But one of the reasons I'm always afraid about time in Nigeria is because of I want people to watch what we are doing. But we are in a country that if you go beyond, like we have spent 1 hour, my time here is 1 hour 5 seconds. 1 hour, yeah, 1 hour five. Oh, sorry, 1 hour 5 minutes 29 seconds. Eh, People will complain they don't have data, and the people that I'm targeting to also benefit from conversations like this might not
Yeah.
be able to benefit because you will not even imagine. Uh, uh, they have to be doing these little extractions from the previous videos to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, posting it so that people can pick the key
Right. Vital
nuggets
information.
and things like that. So I don't want a situation whereby people will miss the vital point and whatsoever. So I think I've gotten to a time exactly the time that I've always spent with 1 hour 6 seconds, 6 minutes. So Shola, I'm going to keep engaging you. You should trust me about that. I've started this and it's going to be a journey
Yeah.
for every one of us. And thank
Always a
you.
pleasure.
And to every other guys that are still going to come, thank you in advance because I beckon on you guys. You don't say that you guys are more knowledgeable than me, and you always want to come on board to engage your time with me, and I appreciate that. And I look forward to more of this. And I wish you a great success even in your event coming up in next month. And I know that we are going to do quite a lot of things together to change
Yeah.
uh,
Fingers crossed.
our narrative, not only in Nigeria, but also in. So, very much, Shola. I appreciate. Thank you for your time.
Thank you
We'll speak
for
with
the
you
pleasure. Thank you for the honor.
later. God
Yes.
bless you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
My regards.
Yes.
My regards,
All right.
even to your
Thank you.
family, for allowing you to speak with me.
Yes, we'll do.
Yeah. I hope I'll be seeing you in Nigeria very soon. I'll probably will be seeing you in UK very soon anyway. And I hope you're not part
Okay.
of those people that are in UK that will be dodging.
That's not possible. In fact, when people say that,
Did you catch that?
yeah, I did. When people say that people that are living in UK, they are living in small houses, I just used to laugh. If you come to my where I live in England, you will say, is this thing doesn't seem it's true that people that are living in London or in UK, they are living in small rooms. I've got big rooms, man. So so it's just about the value you are bringing to the country. So let's not settle for less as Nigerians. I'm always happy anytime you come in. Feel free. I've got extra room in my house that I'm not even renting out. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. My regards. Thank you very much. Shall I take care of yourself? Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And for those of you that will still watch the video, next, thank you so much. What's that?